The first of the year, my pool needs some love. It needs some love today, so follow along. You always have to clean the sides of the pool. I've got algae built up right now because I don't have a cover for my pool like most people. So I get more algae built up. So I really have to treat it more and do all the things. So it's my morning routine. I scrape the sides of the pool, get all the algae and everything to the bottom. And because we've had so many windstorms here, I've got like little pine cones and stuff on the bottom of my pool. So, and leaves, and you name it. So every day I come out here, guess what? I'm my own pool boy. Why am I my own pool boy? Because I have found people in my life that wanted to be my pool boy. And then they thought that was enough. Like they could just be my pool boy. And somehow I would just support them and feed them, become their mother, or become their girlfriend. And then they would do it, then mow my lawn, mow my yard. And then they decided, oh, because I do that for her, I can just move in, and because she already pays all of her own bills, I can just slip in and I won't have to pay rent. Maybe I'll buy groceries once in a while. And somehow it becomes this like bartering system for some reason. And I'm like, the old Ursula was like, would get kind of love drunk. You know, there's a study now out that proves when a woman is in a relationship after she's been intimate with her partner, she kind of, I call it she gets, for the sake of drunk, for the sake of here. And then all of her decisions are somehow skewed. And she makes really bad decisions if she chooses the wrong person. You see, if she chooses the right person will not let her pay all the bills, will not let her take on all the financial responsibility. You see, a good man, a man that knows his value and worth and knows what women bring to the table, which is everything, will know that they have to provide and protect. A good man will know that that's his job, and he'll be honored to take on that responsibility. So ladies, how do you know you have that great man? It's because it's going to be his pleasure when he meets you. Not to just do your pool and do you, but he will want to take it all on, and he'll be ready for you. So remember, who you are is how you feel about yourself. And if you feel like you're only worth somebody taking care of your pool, not contributing to your household financially, not meeting your emotional desires, not communicating with you, feeling like every time you communicate it's a problem, then clearly you have more work to do on yourself, because yourself, how you feel about yourself, will always be measured by who you choose as a partner. And if you love yourself and honor yourself and treat yourself with love and respect once you learn how, then you won't be afraid to do your own pool work, because you know that it's better and easier than putting up with less than you deserve. So you wonder why I'm single. That's the reason. I've had work to do on myself, and now I'm doing the work so that I know how to be loved and how to be treated. So falling in love with yourself, and yes, writing love letters to yourself, helps you know how you deserve to be treated. And until you fall in love with yourself, you'll always be looking outside yourself for validation and for people to tell you who they are. And once they know that you don't know your value and you don't know how to love yourself, game over. You just did the worst thing you could possibly ever do. And that is disconnecting from yourself will leave you confused and manipulated. And then you can no longer pick reasonable, good relationships. So I hope that makes sense. And you know what I'm talking about when I say valuing yourself, having self-respect, loving yourself, treating yourself good, dating yourself, all those things. And you have to be okay with knowing that even if you have to stand alone for the greater good of yourself, you're willing to do that. Because standing alone is also what you had to do in that unhealthy relationship. You were sacrificing yourself for another. And anytime you sacrifice yourself for another, you're always going to be left with confusion, heartbreak. Why didn't he love me? I gave him everything, and he didn't love me correctly. Because you didn't know how to love yourself correctly. So how could he? You trained him how to treat you because you never showed up for yourself. So how do you expect somebody else to show up for you? You trained him that you didn't feel worthy. You trained him that you would accept breadcrumbs. You trained him that any little thing he did, any little tiny gesture he did was enough. And then eventually he stopped doing anything at all because you were so happy that he was just there, that you sold yourself short And then your relationship became how you feel about yourself. And then you wonder why you were crying at night, because here you thought you were in a relationship, and yet you still were alone because you were abandoning the only thing that's really important anyway, and that's yourself. So I'm telling you today, unless you learn how to love yourself, unless you learn how to treat yourself, unless you do the work on yourself, you will never learn how to accept healthy love back to you, because you never learned how it felt to fall in love with yourself and become self-aware of who you are, and let your inner child feel safe to come out and play. And now by doing this pool myself, I have this satisfaction that I'm doing it for myself, and nobody can take it away from me, because it's a relationship that I've established with myself. Welcome home, self. Doing my chores before I go to the gym. Want to get this done before it gets too hot. I made a garden this year. I have raspberries and blueberries and broccoli and snap peas. I have more to plant. I just haven't done it yet. All right, so let's water. I want to show you these blueberries. I want to show you my blueberry plant. See the little blueberries? I love it because I can come out here. I can eat. I've decided to put them in pots. I really didn't know where to plant them in my yard. Last time I planted raspberries in my yard, they just never grew. This is my raspberry plant. I know raspberries spread, so I put it in a pot this year because I just wasn't sure where I wanted it. So it's already growing so much. This needs a little stake. So I'll have to determine where I want it. But it's got little raspberries. I have to get them before the squirrel does. So then I have to come over here and water my garden. So I fill up my water jug, water my flowers, pick the ones off that are dying. I love geraniums because they come back every year. I know I've talked about that a lot. Really love them. Got broccoli right here. Big old broccoli. I can't wait. Put that in my salad. Or just steam up some broccoli, whatever. So I'm so proud that I actually have this little garden thing. It's just me, so I don't need a lot. And then I also have lettuce that's growing in here as well. And then I want to water these roses because these roses, the only water they get is through me and this watering bucket. So I have to water these every day too. But these roses, I want to train to go over my gazebo. So to be beautiful. So the whole top of up here is covered in roses. So when you come out here, all you smell is beautiful scents of roses. And then I have these honeysuckles that grow above my pool area up there, those are honeysuckles. And so the first of the year, those are white flowers. And they just look, oh no, right there above the chairs, right there. And they smell so amazing. And these roses smell so amazing, and they're climbing roses, so I want to train them to go up. And then this broccoli is so delicious. So I hope you enjoyed. Now I put this vacuum in the pool, and it's going to clean up all the debris and everything and make my pool look amazing. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribe for more.